kale varShathu parjanyah prThivee sasyashalini deshoyam kShoBharahithah sajjanasantu nirBhayaah. What does this mean, Amma?
The word meaning kale in time, varShathu parjanyah, let the rains come, prThivi, the mother earth, sasyashalini, let her be clad in greenery, desho, this land, kShoBharahithah, be devoid of misery, sajjanaah, the good people, santu nirBhayaah, let them live fearlessly. This Subhashitha is like a universal prayer. It wishes good to Mother Earth and all its residents. So the translation goes like this: let the rains come on time, let there be greenery all around, let Mother Earth be dressed in green, let the land be devoid of all miseries. Here it means the entire world. And let all the good people live fearlessly and in peace.
In this episode, we are joined by my brother Chidu from San Francisco. Over to you, Chidu.
Hello, everyone. Kale varShathu parjanyah. This line reminds me of the story from Bhagavatha. This is the story of the villagers of Vrindhavana and Govardhana Parvata. The villagers of Vrindhavana had a tradition of worshipping Lord Indra. When the villagers chose to worship Govardhana Parvata instead, Indra was displeased and he sent terrible rain clouds to flood the land. Krishna, who understood the situation, lifted the entire Govardhana Parvata at once with his little finger of his left hand and held it like an umbrella for 7 days to shelter the villagers from the rains. This humbled Lord Indra, and he called back the clouds of devastation and prayed to Krishna for forgiveness.
Kale varShathu parjanyah. Let the rains come on time. Not just on time, but in right proportion too. Briefly, I would like to recite here the way rains are formed. Because of the sun's heat on the earth's terrain, the atmospheric air gets heated up, moves up, and goes towards the pole, and slowly starts getting cooler there, where the sun's heat is lesser. And this cool air slowly comes back towards the equator. Along with this, the water at the seas keeps getting evaporated and getting into the atmospheric air. The atmospheric air slowly gets more and more waterlogged. And as it moves towards the pole, it gets so concentrated that the water gets precipitated and comes down as rain. Two circles are formed, one on the northern hemisphere and one on the southern hemisphere. Now what is happening is, because of global heating, the water evaporation is also getting more and the air is also getting heated more. So the original natural cycle of these circles is getting disturbed, and hence we are getting unnatural rains and unnatural heat waves. I have put this in a very, very simple manner. So this is what is getting us floods in certain areas and drought in certain areas. And urban flooding also has become such a common thing these days. Our next and major thoughts should be how to reduce this unwanted heating of the earth. Madhavi will talk about how to reduce this.
Worldwide, there are many efforts to both reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that's already in the atmosphere, as well as reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that we are putting into the atmosphere. Reforestation and carbon sequestering are two ways that people are using to actively remove the carbon dioxide that is already there in the atmosphere. In order to reduce how much we add into it, we can adopt different methods. No single method will give us 100% results. We would need a combination of many different techniques to bring the global carbon dioxide levels down. Some ways include switching from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources, reducing individuals' carbon footprint. This requires evaluation of your entire life. Also, reduction on our dependence on dairy farming. These are some of the methods that will result in a greener planet, that is prThivi sasyashalini.
Desho ayam kShoBharahithah, sajjanasantu nirBhayaah. If the land has to be without misery, people need to have plenty of job opportunities so that they can find a job that they're happy to work in. And this will provide them with a sense of security and they can live fearlessly. I am bringing this up because the job market right now in the US here is in turmoil. Tens of thousands of workers have lost their job in the past couple of months.
This Subhashitha is a universal prayer that is as old as humankind itself. In every civilization of the ancient world, the first gods that they worshipped were always nature gods. Because humans wanted the elements to be favorable to them, they tried to influence them with their prayers, their wishes, and their hopes. Let's look at the major gods from the Indian, the Greek, and the Egyptian pantheon of deities. In India, the sun is Surya, fire is Agni, water is Varuna, wind or air is Vayu, earth is prThivee, and the space or sky is governed by Indra. In Greek mythology, the sun is called Helios, Hephaestus is the god of fire, water is Poseidon, the god of the sea. They have two deities for wind or air, Boreas, the lord of the northern winds, Nautus, the lord of the southern winds. And for earth, Gaia, the ancestral mother. And the sky is governed by Uranus. In Egyptian mythology, Ra is the god of the sun and fire, Tefnut, the god of water, Amun is the Egyptian god of air, Geb, the god of earth, Shu was the Egyptian god of air and the supporter of the sky. So these three are some of the oldest civilizations known to us. And you can see that each one of them worshipped all of the elements.
Coming back to kale varShathu parjanyah, when we have unseasonal, unwanted, or most wanted rains, the whole economy of the country gets upset. See the flash floods, the cloud bursts, the landslides, and all the unnatural things happening in northern part of India, the Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, etc. One thing that impacts us very much is the effect of these unseasonal rains and weather on crops. The tomato prices have gone sky high. Earlier in the year, the heat was so much that the tomato crops really withered away. Now, because of the floods, we are not having good tomato crops at all. So the crop prices have gone sky high. Two little incidents that can be quoted here. One vendor in North India hired bouncers to protect his pushcart, which was carrying tomatoes, because he was so scared that they would be stolen. And recently we heard of another incident in Bangalore when a truck laden with 2,000 kgs of tomatoes was waylaid and taken away.
I want to talk about deshoyam kShoBharahithah, sajjanasantu nirBhayaah. When I think of this, I am reminded of Rabindranath Tagore's poem, Where the Mind is Without Fear. This poem was originally published in Bengali in 1910. Then Rabindranath Tagore himself translated it into English and published it in 1912. Here's how the poem goes. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. This poem was written in pre independence India, where the poet envisioned an India without its colonial rulers. But I think this aspiration of living freely without fear is something universal. And this poem captures the very essence of this Subhashita. So that's it for today. What did you think of when you heard this Subhashita? Let us know. See you in the next episode.